Hello again, welcome back to Football Spy Online, and Hull City fans could be set to welcome a heavyweight arrival pretty soon. No, I'm not talking about Sven-Göran Eriksson, it's that Hungary footballer Mark Viduka. After eating up the wage bill at Newcastle, he's been released on a free. And the Sun say today that Hull boss Phil Brown's got his megaphone out to tell the world that he wants to make the most of Viduka's knack of not scoring goals. The Sun also say that Bolton are about to nick Zach Knight from Aston Villa for around about £3.5 million. Knight's been used mainly as a fringe player by the Villa boss Martin O'Neill, but Bolton have got much bigger plans for him at the Reebok Stadium. And sticking with clubs outside the top four, we hear that Portsmouth are still very much in for the Espanyol. Former Liverpool right back Steve Finnan, who's about to have his contract terminated with the Spanish club. Sunderland, Stoke and Wolves all like him, even though he's 33, so it looks as though there could be some movement on that pretty soon. As for Liverpool, and the Independents say that there could be some movement with regard to a player many fans would love to see at Anfield, the Valencia winger David Silva. Now, basically, this piece says that Valencia have still got the cash crisis that led them to try and sell David Villa to half of Europe. But since the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid, they're not willing to pay the money that Valencia want. Villa's not going anywhere, all of which means that the attention has turned to Villa's teammate David Silva. Now, Liverpool believe they can get him for cheaper than the £25 million that Valencia initially asked for him. Silva can play wide in the middle or as a second striker, so you can see why Benitez likes him. Now, time for your messages. And to be fair, I haven't enjoyed reading a batch of messages as entertaining as this for a long time, so I'm going to work through quite a few of them. Gary Spurs is having a big laugh at my expense because I, like many other people out in Germany, believed that Huntelaar would go to Stuttgart. It really does look as though Harry Redknapp at Spurs, who described Huntelaar as being in the Ruud van Nistelrooy class yesterday, will make his move pretty soon. Also, don't rule out Arsenal. Something must have convinced Huntelaar to wait, because the deal to take him to Stuttgart was virtually done. Lots of you agreeing with me that Barcelona are paying Inter Milan £39 million plus Eto'o plus Heb in the worst transfer deal ever. But there could yet be hope that it won't happen, as Hleb, you might remember him from when he played on the wing at Arsenal, says he doesn't want to go to Inter. Anyway, here are some of your messages. Sky at 5 says they're very close to strikers. If I was Inter, I'd accept the deal straight away. £39 million going to get you some good strikers. Lowdown is asking, why does Barca want to give up so much for Eto'o? Has he contracted some infection or something? Serge TV, who actually flew to LA to see Ibrahimovic play for Inter against Chelsea the other night, was not impressed. He actually thinks, controversially, that there might be a bit of racial motivation in there with Eto'o, in his words, a safe bet for 30 plus goals a season, yet Barca make him seem like he's got the bubonic plague or maybe even swine flu. Nick in the Caribbean demanded the return of our 8-minute shows instead of the smaller 4-minute shows, but I explained to him yesterday that the 8-minute shows take longer to put up on YouTube, but it seems most of you are not having it. 265 Massey says simply, I agree with Nick, 8 minutes please. Bad Half says here, I like the longer shows because you can fit more news and features in. Maybe Mondays and Fridays can be 10 minutes and Tuesday to Thursday 5 minutes. Habib and Crosaurus think 4 minutes is fine for a daily show, but Old Root says, Darren, we want the 8-minute shows because we wait the whole day for this and then you give us 4 minutes and that's not fair. And Floyd Camp says the viewers are better informed by an 8-minute show than a 4-minute show. That 4-minute show the other day came across as rushed and insufficient. That told me. One final message, actually. I asked you yesterday who you think Ferguson at Man United should buy. Lots of you got in touch with some very good suggestions. But I like this from 543 Joe, this is the one that interested me. He said he'd get rid of Berbatov and bring in either Villa, Ribery or Beckham. Now, I was going to respond directly to him, but Style Sessions did it for me quite well. He says, get rid of Berbatov. As the great Sir Bobby Robson would say, are you dizzy, blood? Now, let's get some more papers in, and the Stars say that Liverpool want Peter Crouch back, but I can't see that happening in a million years. Why would Peter Crouch go back to the club where he couldn't get any regular first-team football under Rafa Benitez? Much more likely is the move to Spurs that Harry Redknapp is trying to put together. Fulham are also in for him though. Neither club rather have made a bid, but both of them want to get him for far less than the £12 million that Sunderland were prepared to pay, and so they're both going to play the waiting game. The award for the most deluded player of the week, possibly even of the year, goes to Andriy Shevchenko at Chelsea. For some reason, the Turkish club Fenerbahce want him, but they're unwilling to pay the £120,000 that he demanded a week when Roma and Monaco wanted to sign him. As Dan Silva, who presents the show on a Tuesday, would say, Andriy, have a word with yourself, son. Now, a few quick ones for you. Martin Jol at Ajax wants to sign Gareth Bale from Spurs. Bale can't get into the Tottenham first team, even though Spurs beat off competition for Man United. Kyle Norton and Kyle Walker, beware. The Times' Window Watch say that West Ham want to sign this man. His name is Fabio Deprella. He's 18. He's a Swiss under-19 left-back, and West Ham see him as cover for Herita Ilunga. Hull target Ross McCormack's handed in a transfer request to his club, Cardiff City. Yes, that's how these things work. And the Chelsea midfielder Deco says he wants to commit his future to the club, largely because he knows that nobody's going to pay the ridiculous money that Chelsea want for him, so he's got no choice. Now, to all of you who've been in touch to fill me in on what you really think of David Beckham, there's some strong views in there. I'm going to get your thoughts into Monday's show, so stay tuned. And I didn't realise you all felt so strongly, but just a couple more messages. And Markham thinks that Man United should sign either Gary Cahill from Bolton or Breda Hangeland from Fulham. Smeglina, I think Chelsea will indeed go for Ribery, but I think they're biding their time. To Kieran Okta, thanks for your picture, but we can't use it because we don't know who the women are in it. And Sam Bunny, he's in Australia. He thinks the worst ever transfer was Robbie Keane's £20 million move to Liverpool last summer. No shame in the player today, that's back on Monday, but we've got one more story for you. It's in the Sunderland even, Echo in the north of England. They're saying that Steve Bruce at Sunderland likes the defensive midfielder Loic Canard, who plays for Marseille. The trouble is, like the Bordeaux striker Marouane Chamakh that Arsene Wenger likes, he's already taken it, looks like. So if you throw in the fact that Bruce has missed out on Peter Crouch as well, it seems that bad luck really does come in threes. There's more Spy for you on Monday. I'll see you then.